Diecast North is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some shit. Viewer and parental discretion is advised. Welcome to you all, my fantastic ones. It's time for another episode of Diecast North's Galactic Hooligan. And today I'm really excited to keep the Velocitron race going. Velocitron 500 has actually now bought us Override. I have been waiting for her for the longest time. I love this character. I've always loved this character ever since she was actually introduced, and now we actually have an updated version of her. I love this so much. Thanks to Robert Salzman, who actually got her for me. I really appreciate it, bro. You are awesome. And now, let us get on with the review. And you can tell how no nonsense I'm actually being in wanting to review the World Heavyweight Champion, the long-time unbeatable heavyweight that is Velocitron's leader. I really can't wait to get to this. But before we do that, I'd love for you to do me one small favor. Please hit the like, subscribe, and the subscribe button. It means a lot to me in growing my channel, and I really appreciate you for taking the time to come in to review her with me. Now, let's get on to the review. And the winner of the Velocitron 500 is Override. I'm trying to catch up. Welcome back, everyone, and the winner of the Velocitron 500 is always Override, the undisputed champion. Ha! This one is just really spectacular. I love her so much. I've always loved her ever since Transformers Cybertron, and I love this design. Everything about this is a vast improvement over the other one. And let me just give you a quick look at her box over here, which is really nice. I kind of wish we actually had like a straight on just like look at her whole entire visage here and everything, because she looks great. One thing that I would have actually changed, and I kind of like feel as they kind of like missed a mark on it, is giving her some good old-fashioned headlights and everything like that, because like over here we can actually see that they actually do want to give some headlighting over here and everything, even though we actually have like a lot of this smoked out black here and everything and all that. And I really think that that's the one missing element in both the art and her toy, because she looks fantastic. She really does. I couldn't be more pleased with her. And just let me give you a good overlook of her auto mode. And I want to say that this is actually a heavy reimagining of her old self. I want to say her G1 self, but it's not G1. This actually comes from Cybertron. But look at these sexy lines and everything. These curves, they are just really brilliant. And not only that, but she also comes with her particle accelerator here and everything, which is actually great. I love this so much. One thing I love about this is that if you didn't want to use this as like your flux capacitor or anything like that, you could always plug a weapon in here and everything, and she still looks great with it, you know? But she also comes with her own weaponry and everything that actually doubles as her turbo boost here and everything. We actually have like a couple of pegs right over here that can actually be used for blast compatibility. And I do definitely want to give you a little look as to what that's actually going to look like, because I think because of the heavy paint that they actually use here, it actually works really well with her. I kind of felt like she could have actually used the other versions of the blast effects that's like this version of it, but like the distance between both pegs are actually a little short and everything like that, so that's not really going to work here or anything like that, but it does work over here, and you can actually have her, outrun each and every one of her competitors, and that just looks super phenomenal and everything. I love that a lot. But this is actually really great. She doesn't lose this function over here where her head is actually poking out of the cockpit or anything like that, but really just a vast improvement over her other self and everything. And just let me bring this over here, and this was a lot bigger and everything like that, dealing with the class and like the functions and the what's the word I'm looking for here? The playability factor, the gimmick that was actually put in here and everything. That's the word I was looking for. The gimmick was actually that you actually press this and you actually have most of her transform and everything like that. Great for automorphing and everything, but I don't know, like it kind of like when you actually have this and then you actually go into the rest of the transformation and everything like that, you actually wind up with her pelvic area here and everything like that being like really gappy and not really well held together or anything like that. One of the problems with mine was that mine was actually kind of loose and everything like that. I had to tighten her up a lot and everything, but then you also get this gimmicky arm here and everything that actually just doesn't hold stable or anything like that, and that's kind of a shame. I kind of wish there was like more to do with that, but like it was a great beginning design. With this, we're actually getting so much more. For comparisons, a comparison between Override and Cosmos, Blur, since we've been talking about her a lot, Crasher, and Smokescreen. So you've seen the way we actually transform Transformers Cybertron Override, so now we are actually going to go into the way we actually transform the new Velocitron Speedia 500 collection Override. So, ready, head, shut! Right from dynamic auto mode to dynamic transformation, let me show you what actually goes into this class. And let us start off by unpegging her hands right on the inside over here. That's secured by a really nice secure peg that's actually on the inside. I love that so much. Also, we actually go over here and we actually unpeg it right from the shoulders right over here and uncurl those wheels to the outside. Really, really nice. Let me show you what's actually one of my favorite things. First off, we actually want to make sure that we unpeg it right over here, because I actually did a run of this before and I did leave this and I kind of like took the legs out and everything. Don't be like me, my friends. Just make sure that you actually unpeg this first before you actually do anything else. And then let's accordion the legs. First off, we're gonna unpeg them right over here and over here. They're actually secured by a couple of really, really nicely secured pegs and everything. But let me show you my favorite thing. Listen to this, listen. Oh my God, what a great secure connection. And we'll actually just kind of unfurl the feet right over here. We'll bring that in and we actually connect it by a peg that's actually right on the inside over here. So just do that. And then let's do this one more time. Now, when you're actually going into auto mode, that's really secure also. You actually feel like a really nice solid connection in here. But when you actually come out here, listen to this again, listen. Ah, nice, I love that so much. So we'll just like unfurl her feet right over here, and then we are going to just come in and peg that right on the inside here, and that's actually really nice and solid. Then we'll rotate her feet right out here and everything. That's actually really nice. Now comes some of the magic of this. Let's just take this one thump over here, right? You'll actually feel like a thump and everything. We'll bring down her windscreen, and that goes and plugs right in here. And now we're going to take the back and we're going to, first off, unpeg all of this right over here, because all of this actually kind of like comes loose, and then it's actually going to go in on a slider right in here. So let's unpeg this also, and bring this out and get this ready for the magic. And this is actually great. This is a great transformation. So let's bring this all in. And now we are going to peg this right in here and this in here. And then we're going to move this in on a slider right here. So slider, slider, there it goes. It just takes a minute. Then peg this right in here, and that pegs, and that's a really nice connection. And let's do this again. So let's see. We just want to make sure that the slider actually starts working, because this slider, there we go. Okay, so that slider sometimes actually gives me a little bit of like trouble there, but like there we go, and we slid that in. And now just curl over the hands and just rotate them right over there. And now we actually have an amazing Transformers Velocitron Speedia 500 collection override, and she looks magnificent. Let's take you in for a closer look. Can I say I really love everything that's actually going into her. She was, and I really was hoping that that Legacy was actually going to come into an override and everything. I kind of predicted it. Kind of one of the reasons why I actually took out the old version of Override and put her into my collection for a little while and everything, so I could actually compare, because I knew somehow we were actually getting her. Called the ESPN, that's actually in my head. But let me tell you something. She looks fantastic. I really love her so much. I mean, giving a clear enough picture of her, hopefully, because she looks great. Hold on, let's give you a good look at this gorgeous face here. That is beautiful, and I love the gold that they're actually using here on her face and everything. Kind of like almost makes her look ethereal and everything like that. Even though the orange that was actually used here was actually kind of cool and everything for its day and everything, this really just like outshines and gives her like whole entire visage a lot more pop and everything, you know? Let's take a look at her whole entire body and frame here. I love this. Only thing that's actually missing is that she doesn't have an Autobot symbol over here anymore or anything like that. I'm just kind of hoping that I can actually find one from like maybe Toy Hacks or something like that that'll actually be small enough to place right over here and everything, because I kind of feel like she should actually have an Autobot insignia, even though she's, I don't know, is she really truly an Autobot and everything? She's actually kind of like, she's from Velocitron, so you would actually kind of like make sure that she actually kind of like keeps like the name of her planet and everything like that. But like, this is beautiful. I love the design that they actually did to her flux capacitor here and everything. Really, really nice. I love her arms. Her arms are just great, powerful looking and everything. Kind of reminds me of like, kind of like a She-Hulk or a Gina Carano or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, this is just great. She actually has like some things going on with her waist and everything like that, but at least it's not like separated and then compacted again and everything like that. So there's no way to mismanage the legs or anything like that in movement or anything, you know? So like, that's actually great. I love like the shins over here, just really nice. The way it's actually painted, just really nice also and everything. And the wheels, I didn't mention this before or anything like that, but these wheels are just really great and dynamic looking. I think everything about this is actually great, except for one thing. And my one gripe will probably be, and let me clear this up for you. My one gripe will actually be her feet. I kind of wish that they actually had like a blue or like maybe some kind of like headlight design or something like that. If there's someone, and I'm talking to you, Toy Hacks, if you actually made like a 3D kind of like print over here for the headlights and everything, that would actually be awesome. And I think that a lot of us, like a lot of your fans, would actually love to actually have like hologram headlights and everything. It could actually be in black, but like just to actually have like a slight gleam here and everything like that would be amazing. And I think that would actually kind of like really make this toy pop even more, you know? She is just really fantastic, and giving you a close look at her and her old Velocitron. There we go, and her own Velocitron toy and everything like that, her old one. She looks pretty much like super updated and everything. I love this so much. And you don't have like the wideness of like the wideness of the chest and the shoulders over here and anything. Everything looks really well proportioned here and everything. And it's just grand. I love it so much. For articulation, we actually have a 360 right on the head. Oh wait, actually no, you don't have like a 360 because it stops right at her chin right over here. So it's actually kind of like inhibited right there. Also, I just wanted to point out that this is actually like the clear plastic and everything like that, clear red plastic. And I don't want to see you guys and girls actually kind of try to tilt her head upwards and everything like that, because this will break eventually and everything like that. I kind of really wish that this was actually done in a more solid color and everything like that. If we actually had like a more solid red, even a darker red and everything like that, that would actually be great. She looks great, don't get me wrong. I love the way she looks, but I always worry about the clear plastic pieces and everything like that. This actually happened on my Studio Series, Drift, the helicopter version. Like, there was a peg that actually just broke off on there and everything, and I am in dire straits with that whole entire thing. I cannot believe that that thing actually broke on me. One of my favorite figures, by the way, but always the clear plastic pieces actually seem to break and everything like that a lot more. I don't mind it being done on windows and everything like that, but that being said, just be careful with it and everything. She can't look up or down, and that's actually really a shame. I kind of wish they actually kind of like went into this with the same zeal that they actually went into the RC head and everything, where they kind of like cut off a little bit more so she could actually have like a more dynamic up stance and everything. So that's really it right there. You know, she actually has like a rotational joint right over here at the shoulders. She can move in and out on a hinge, so that's nice. She does have rotation at the bicep over here, really, really nice. She has 90 degrees, nice. She has a rotation right over here on her wrist due to transformation, also really nice. She would have a better waist articulation over here, but this is actually all getting in the way. It's all her backpack and everything. And although it's necessary and it's cool to actually have the backpack, I kind of wish she actually had like more of a wider stance on the, like more of a wider gap on the inside. Like if they could have actually just concaved that a little bit more and kind of like made that circle around and everything, so you could actually have that waist joint and everything, that would actually be great. But I'm pretty sure like if you actually move the backpack and everything like that by mistransforming her a little bit, you could actually have like all that depth of the waist there and everything, you know, and like it would have actually been great if we actually had that. But that's really not like that much of a miss or anything like that, although you can't really get into a dynamic positioning that you can if you actually had the full-size waist, if you actually had the full rotation of the waist. So I would have actually loved to see that, but like that's neither here nor there. We have a dynamic up right over here. We don't get all the way back or anything like that to her backpack. We actually have this amazing roundhouse and everything like that, so that's actually great. So she can do kung fu, and which is actually great. So she can do this, you know, perfect. She has a little bit more than 90 degrees and everything like that right over here. That's actually really, really nice, and I love this right over here. Kind of like makes me feel as though they were actually thinking about not breaking up the transformation or like breaking up the movement over here and everything like that, especially since she actually has these knee guards. And when you actually move the knee guards, you're actually seeing this because it kind of like looks like a gear to me. So that's actually really nice. And she actually she has like a little dorsiflexion right over here, so that's great. And the ankle pivot, that's awesome. So she actually has like a decent arrangement of movement here and everything like that. It's really, really nice, and I really love it. I really, really love this figure. She feels solid and everything. She feels substantial. Is she worth the Voyager price? Yeah, kinda, actually, because like I really have picked her up and I have absolutely had no regrets with getting her whatsoever or anything like that. One thing I didn't get a chance to point out on her old version of the figure is that she actually came with this cyber key right over here, where you actually kind of like take this off, or you could actually leave this in robot mode. I mean, you could leave this in auto mode, and as long as you actually had the Velocitron cyber key, you could actually like deploy her weapons right over here, and that's actually really cool. Although the weapons actually kind of like went in a little bit too much and everything like that, but it was actually a great gimmick for its time, and it actually gave Override here a weapon that she could actually holster in her hand and everything like that, and blast everybody with and everything. So that's actually really nice, and that was actually a cool weapon for its time and everything like that. Also, the back actually filled in a little bit better here and everything, so that's a bit, and that's only because of the front end. So that's actually kind of cool. What we actually have here for Velocitron's champion here now is that we have her backpack that actually has kind of like that same gimmick, except you don't need the Velocitron key or anything like that anymore. Although you could actually kind of like say Velocitron, you know, and then just kind of like have it disappear, kind of like in the anime, you know what I mean? And then there we go. We actually have a more substantial weapon here and everything. I love the way the barrels are actually created here and everything like that. You actually have kind of like those lines that I think were actually supposed to like throw the laser like right through here and everything, so she could actually do her blast and everything. That's actually really great. Also, I love this. You can actually position these in any which way you actually want to and everything like that. So in gun mode, if you actually wanted to like give her like more of a look like this, it's actually cool. And then she can actually kind of like put this in her hand. There we go. And she actually has a dynamic pistol right over here. That's great. And just like before, you can actually just kind of like put these blast effects right on the front. There we go. And give her that dynamic blasting action and everything. So that's actually really cool. One thing that would have actually made this so much better is if you actually had like the waist movement here and everything like that. If you actually had the rotation on the waist, you could actually kind of like create so many great posing and that sort, you know what I mean? And that would have actually been great. That would have been super great, you know, but I really love her. I think she's actually just like an amazing bot. And hold on, just let me do this. There we go. She's an amazing bot. I cannot suggest her enough or anything like that. I'm just gonna give you a couple of quick comparisons. And for some comparisons at the winner's circle, we have Override, Cosmos, Smokescreen, Crasher, and Blur. Final thoughts coming up. There is a reason why I want to call this version of Override a G1 figure, only because of the fact that she actually kind of reminds me of like the heyday of G1 and everything when we actually started collecting it, everything, you know? I mean, me personally, but not you guys and everything like that. I know everyone actually has a different G1, but like this one altogether kind of reminds me of like the same boxy posture and everything like that we actually got. Whereas this Override has actually come into our lives and has actually refined what we actually had from this version of the toy. This one actually kind of like really just like kind of like comes out and like kind of like brings an anime aesthetic to things. Even just by looking at her, you can actually tell she's actually like a high quality figure and everything, and she actually has that added articulation and everything, you know? So like she is a lot of fun. Velocitron's champion has actually come into my life, and I couldn't be happier with the figure. She's amazing. I really hope you actually go off and find her and everything. And if you have, you're absolutely lucky finding this figure and everything. I've actually been looking everywhere, and it took a friend to actually find this for me and everything like that, and I can't believe that he actually did. You know, she was actually out there. She's pretty much out there for you guys too and everything like that. Just connect, just search with friends and everything. Cosmos is actually still out there. Don't pay that $300 price tag that some of the scalpers actually have out there for him and everything. You know what I mean? Get her, get him. Also, Clampdown and everything. I haven't really made up my mind about him just yet or anything. Maybe you guys can actually talk me into him. I don't know. But anyway, I still love her. I think she's actually great. Highly recommended. And that is it for me for this episode. I really appreciate you guys and girls once again coming in for my trip through nerddom. Again, as always, treat each other with kindness, respect, love, everything that you can actually muster that will actually bring brightness and sincerity and beauty back to this world. Also more color. Also, when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. I'll definitely talk to you all soon.